Hi friends! In this video, we're breaking down the 10 most common habits that quietly kill your win rate. The biggest issue here is that players treat every check as a sign of weakness. But if your opponent is a recreational player, a fish, a check after betting two streets often means, "I'm scared to bet again, but I'm definitely calling your bluff." They likely have a queen or a pair of jacks and have already decided they aren't folding. Bluffing into this player is just giving money away. A professional, however, plays differently. If a pro had a strong hand, they would bet for value to get paid. When a pro checks here, it's almost always a sign they've given up. A bluff against a pro in this spot is much more likely to work. Many modern players study solvers, programs that calculate perfect GTO play. Theoretically, with ace-6 suited, you should often 4-bet bluff. But numbers only work against other perfect players. If you're facing an opponent who hasn't played a hand in 3 hours and suddenly starts 3-betting, close the solver. In the real world, their range is strictly aces or kings. The program doesn't know the human psychology. Blindly copying computer charts without considering who is sitting across from you is the fastest way to set your bankroll on fire. It is psychologically difficult to fold a strong hand like a straight, especially when the pot is huge. But top-tier pros make what we call a disrespectful fold. This means, "I respect your passivity so much that I know you would never jam all in with a worse hand." Most amateurs call here by instinct and then complain about bad luck. The ability to hit the fold button even when you have a monster hand is what separates a professional making $100 an hour from a player who is just playing okay. Smart players often overthink simple spots. They look at the board and think, "This texture is better for my opponent's range. I should check to protect my range." Stop. You're playing against a recreational player who is just there for fun. They don't know what range advantage means. They aren't going to punish you for betting too often. If you check, you're just giving them a free card to potentially outdraw you. Against weak players, keep it simple. If you have a good hand, bet it. Don't try to play chess with someone who is playing checkers. There is a myth. Never bluff a fish because they never fold. This is only half true. Fish are sticky with pairs, but they often reach the river with random cards that missed everything. On a broken board like this, your opponent physically cannot have many strong hands. If you use an overbet, betting more than what's in the pot, even the stickiest fish will start to doubt their hand. You must bluff them because they don't know how to construct their ranges, and they often end up at the river with air that is easy to push out with high pressure. This is a purely psychological trap. Players say, "I need to save 100 buy-ins before I start studying or move up." But a bankroll isn't the cause of your success, it's the result. If you play poorly, any bankroll will eventually disappear. Instead of obsessing over every dollar, invest a portion of that money into your education, courses, software, or coaching. It's like the gym. You don't wait to get fit before you start working out. You work out to get fit. Mastery always comes before the money. People see a cool bluff in a video and try to repeat it in every similar situation. But poker is a game of context. In this example, a second 10 hits the river. This is the worst card to bluff. Why? Because the opponent called your previous bets, which means they very likely have a 10. Now they have trips, 3 of a kind. No one in the world is folding trips to your bet, no matter the size. Copying a strategy without understanding why a board is good or bad for a bluff is a recipe for a massive loss. When reviewing a hand, amateurs usually ask, "Did I do the right thing? Should I have called?" These are the wrong questions. A professional asks, What hands could my opponent be bluffing with here? What hands are they betting for value? A pro isn't looking for approval, they are analyzing the opponent's logic. If the opponent has no logical bluffs in this line, then your call is a mistake, even if you happen to win the hand. Learn to ask questions about ranges, not just yes or no answers. Your success in a bluff depends on the balance of two forces. First is fold equity, the chance they fold now. Second is equity, your chance to win if they call. In example 1, you have a combo draw. You can hit a straight or a flush. Even if they don't fold, you still win 50% of the time on the next card. This is a perfect bluffing spot. In example 2, you have almost no chance to improve. If they don't fold, you lose 100%. Never bluff with naked hands if you don't have a backup plan in the form of strong equity. Everyone wants to learn secret moves to outplay pros on TV. But real money in poker is made doing the boring stuff. The most important skill at low stakes is exploiting fish. And fish have one major trait: they almost never bluff big. If a weak player who has been calling all night suddenly shoves all in, they always have a monster. Your job is to simply hit fold. It's not glorious, it doesn't look cool, but this disciplined ability to fold against obvious strength is what generates the most profit in the long run. A lot of players will eventually figure these things out through trial and error, but the goal is to get there faster. If you stop copying bad habits and start asking the right questions, your bankroll will follow your skill.